Fashion changes with the season. I just don't remember that season. Nevertheless, we all know that clothing has a habit of coming back into fashion. But what about clothing worn hundreds or even thousands of years ago? Will we ever see those outfits again? Better hope not. It's time for a fashion backwards segment of Identify This. What is this item of men's clothing worn around the neck? A cravat or a doublet? This precursor to the necktie is a cravat. It originated in Croatia in the 1700s, possibly to provide a feeling of safety among dueling gentlemen. But it was also a good way to catch crumbs or drops of soup before they fell onto a man's doublet. Dry cleaning was expensive back then. What is this piece of neckwear Queen Elizabeth I wore? An Elizabethan collar or a ruff? It's a ruff. An Elizabethan collar is something you put on your dog to keep it from scratching. Ruff. Now, what is this contraption that ladies wore in the late 1800s? A bustle or a farthingale? A bustle. It was said to enhance the back end of a dress. What is this contraption that ladies wore in the early 1860s? A crinoline or a corset? It's a crinoline, also called a farthingale. It was a cage usually made of steel and worn under a skirt to give the garment a specific shape. Women had to be pretty strong to wear them, and they couldn't sit down. They also couldn't get through a doorway. Luckily, the fashion changed. By 1870, bustles were all the rage. Women could finally fit through doorways, but they still couldn't sit down.